Hello, I am Chylli from channel Chylli, also known as Chai, and we are going to be getting right into the Limbus Company April Fool's event. So yeah, it gets right into it as soon as you load up the game, so we are getting right into it here. I must remain calm. Whatever happens, no matter what horror materializes before my eyes, I must hold steadfast. Because I am...
그러니까
저기 제가 쟤를 때렸다니까요. 네?
at a place where events that defy human understanding occur like everyday accidents. So, kids, why don't we try doing this one by one? Do you want to go in first?
그거 말 안 하기로 쟤들이랑 약속했잖아. 너 일론보야?
일름보 아니거든.
I don't really remember how my life choices landed me in this particular occupation, but...
개판.
원장님이 그런 나쁜 말 뜨지 말라고 했었는데.
맞네 맞아. 원장님, 쟤도 혼내주세요.
Right, I'm the principal of a kindergarten. Regardless of everything that's happening and has happened, the only thing I know for real is that... I'm in hell, possibly, probably, by all accounts at least. After some time... According to the Centerlings recap, it seems the gist of why they've been fighting is as follows. Centerlings, is that even a real word? Well, anywho. When the teacher, doubling as the kindergarten dietitian, announced she was going to hold a hands-on cooking class with the Centerlings, the 3 classrooms, Hairy chickies, early elephants, and perky penguins could not agree on the type of dish they wanted to cook, and started a war of sorts. I cannot believe they genuinely went this route with the April Fool's event. I saw people talking about possibly doing this on the Reddit, and I did not believe they would ever do this. While they managed to come to an agreement, the recipes using bongi as the main ingredient made for the bestest and tastiest cuisine. The core of the conflict was that none of them could concur on what kind of dish it was to be. One thing led to another, and it culminated in this ridiculous cooking contest between classrooms with a kindergarten dietitian presiding as the ultimate judge of flavor. Weird, this whole sequence of events feels oddly familiar.
원장님도 고생이세요. 애들 엉망진창. 카로는 절레절레.
Miss Yuri, Miss Karan.
12이나 되는 아이들이 전부 성향이 다르니까 혼자서 인솔하시기 힘드시겠네요.
Oh, I can't complain. It's not like I'm doing this all on my own, right? Especially with the 2 of you handling 2 classrooms each, too.
하나는 밖에 싸돌아다녀. 카로는 걱정 안 해.
카런 선생님은 좀 방임주의시긴 하죠.
그리고 코끼리는 항상 조용해. 정신 사나운 다른 애들 아니야.
Wait, I need to talk to you 2 about something. Listen, the kids have stirred up some more trouble today.
말썽이라뇨. 물론 생각했던 건 모두 다 함께 같은 요리를 만드는 것이긴 했지만 여러 가지 요리를 해보는 것도 아이들에게 큰 공부가 될 테니까요.
Miss Yuri, she's a bit different from how I remember her from my admittedly hazy memories. Or was she always this passionate?
이렇게 아이들이 경쟁하면서 투쟁심과 성취도 느끼고
웃기르만! 이번 승리를 통해 원장님의 애정은 우리 펭귄반이 독차지하겠다! 헛쓰고
서로 이기려고 머리를 맞대면서 협력심도 생기고.
있지. 오늘 체험학습에 쓸 도구 좀 같이 옮겨줘.
나는 계획을 짜야 한다. 다른 수감생을 알아봐라.
Yeah, honestly, I am just completely flabbergasted right now. I cannot believe this is happening. This doesn't seem like a safe dosage of competitive spirit at all, and I'm not seeing even a speck of cooperation between them.
재료를 조달하면서 체력도 키울 수 있으니 일석삼조인 격이죠.
Procuring the what now? Are you saying the kids will be out collecting their own ingredients?
네, 그럼요. 저기 보세요. 벌써 펭귄반 아이들은 준비를 다 마친 것 같네요.
Ready, huh? My gaze followed Miss Yuri's and naturally caught a row of marching sinnerlings, each with some kind of item in their tiny hands. Boys, am I looking at a toy axe?
요즘엔 기술이 참 좋죠. 아이들이 다치지도 않고 체험학습을 할 수 있게 저렇게 나와주고.
Oh, I get it now. That's what they'll be using to hunt the ingredients. Yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with that. As for those things approaching us from the distance, are they supposed to be the ingredients? They've got bongi on their heads.
사고에서 서식하는 봉이벌레네요. 껍질이 바삭바삭한 특성이 있어서 구이와 튀김의 안성맞춤이죠.
Bongi bugs? I'm not sure if I like the specific juxtaposition of those two words. Wait, scratch that. Aren't bongi supposed to be...
원장님, 보고 드립니다.
As I stood there searching through my hazy memories in a daze, one of the tiny sinnerlings marched up to me and stirred me from my trance. Otis, hello. I don't know, something about her feels like she's just an adult who's inexplicably assumed the speech patterns of a toddler.
네, 저희 펭귄반 종원 넷 체험학습 준비 끝입니다.
Otis looked up expectantly at me, in her hands is a weapon, glowing in the full spectrum of the rainbow as it buzzed with all kinds of annoying noises. Oh right, my job was to keep an eye on the centerlings and ensure that today's hand-on class ends safely. Sounds good, then shall we?
지도를 부탁드립니다.
Yeah, as I said before, I am just completely flabbergasted. I was not expecting this at all.
우리 모두 싸울 수밖에.
예, 원장님.
맛있겠다.
플러스. 원래 아니야.
So I imagine we're probably going to do the same thing for all the other sinners as well. Or I guess sinnerlings in this case, because yeah. You can get some stuff other than meat from them.
그럼요. 봉이는 서식지 근처에 있는 다른 재료들을 저 아랫몸에 저장하는 습성이 있거든요.
What lower body? The limbs? I looked up toward the perky penguins once again, diving deep into my well of memories to see if these bongy things even had a lower body.
너희들
And saw Gregor poking out a bongy's carcass stripped of flesh. At a glance, it may have appeared as nothing more than an everyday childish curiosity, but there was a solemn look on the kid's face that gave me pause.
야, 그래. 그거 만지지 마. 지지야, 지지.
Yucky, you're about to make food from that, you know.
그야. 봉이는 포동포동 맛있어 보이는데요. 남은 쭉쭉이는 너무 벌레 같아요. 왜?
And so Gregor began bawling. Rhodia, you're being mean. Apologize to Gregor now. Bugs and Gregor crying. I wasn't sure how these two things were related, but a voice in me urged me to demand that Rhodia apologize to Gregor.
너 잘못 안 했는데? 알았어. 미안해, 미안. 예전에 너 집게팔 보고 벌레 같다고 한 것도 미안해. 그러니까 뚝.
벌레 아니야.
아이씨, 왜 자꾸 울지? 배고픈가? 내가 먹을 거 줄까?
Do you really not understand why? As Rhodia was struggling to calm Gregor down, light even footsteps approached me from behind.
원장님,
Yes, sir? Something about the way the low-level voice spoke struck me as oddly familiar, so I whipped around to see who it came from. Yeah, there's no way we're running this place with two teachers. This has to be the third teacher who's managing one of the other classes. But I saw no one. The voice was low in terms of height, that is. Oh, hey, Mirso.
네, 요리의 준비가 다 되어 원장님을 부르러 왔습니다.
That's, he got a pretty baritone voice for a kid. This kid doesn't even talk like a toddler.
감사합니다. 펭귄반 친구들은 제가 데리고 갈 테니 조리실의 보호자석에 착석하시어 저희를 감독해 주시길 부탁드립니다. 반장 오티스 수감생은 이미 자리에 있습니다.
Okay, thanks. Flabbergasted, I stared at Merceau walking down toward Rhodia and Gregor in that steady, even pace, then made my way into the kitchen. The kitchen's a real mess, huh?
진짜 뻔하다뇨. 모두 있어야 할 자리에 있습니다, 원장님.
Is it? Something about this place feels oddly familiar too. I guess this is how this place has always looked. So, what kind of dish are you preparing, class?
예, 저희는 프라이드 봉이를 준비했습니다.
Oh, so he's getting used to words that are hard to pronounce. Hang on, why'd he say that all in past tense? Wait, but Rhodia and Gregor just got here, didn't they? Weren't they part of your team too? I guess Gregor might be a bit too young to start cooking, but...
네, 원장님. 로자 수감생의 경우 요리 중 지속적으로 원재료의 손실을 일으키는 정황이 있어 의도적으로 배제했습니다.
뭐? 나를 뭘로 보고... 원장님, 매로 혼내줘요!
지금도 봉이 뒷다리 한 개가 손실되었습니다.
원장님, 혼내주십시오!
That's it, Rhodia. Go sit in the corner there. It's the timeout cheer for you.
네? 왜요? 그렇지만 먹을 거가 생기면 빨리 집어와야 굶어 죽지 않잖아요.
Is that really something a child of her age should be saying? Just what kind of awful condition has she been living in? Too bad, but I can't let it slide when I just saw you sneaking away with a drumstick. Off to the corner, now.
아까 과자도 나눠줬는데 착한 어린이 했는데. 원장님의 명령이다. 어서 가라. 이 펭귄만의 습지.
Otis might be going a bit overboard.
이렇게 싸우면서 성장하는 거겠죠?
I looked at Miss Yuri, but she only wore an innocent, kindly smile one might have when watching children play their silly games.
자, 그럼 메르스 어린이 이번 요리를 설명해 주겠어요?
네, 이번 오르떼 부르는
The explanation continued for a while with a similar level of incomprehensibility. Did he mean hors d'oeuvres? As I listened, I became increasingly suspicious whether these were the vocabulary and... loquaciousness of a toddler, but... Once I saw a smugly satisfied Otis return from her arrest after having properly restrained the perpetrator, Rhodia, only to reduce a crayon and a massive sketch pad from who knows where and begin a whole lecture on how this dish came to be, well... Eventually, I stopped thinking. This is just the kind of world I live in, I guess.
네, 잘 들었어요, 친구들. 아, 그러면 맛을... 그런데 설명을 안 한 부분이 있네요, 메르스 어린이. 음식 꼭대기에 이건 뭔가요?
Miss Yuri pointed at an unfamiliar object standing upright atop the dish, almost like a birthday candle. Wait, isn't that what Gregor's been picking up earlier?
이렇게 하면 기억할 거야.
It's a lower limb of a bongi bug. In the blink of an eye, Merceau's fist slammed down upon the delectable fried bongi and turned it into shapeless mush alongside the unfamiliar object. Merceau?
이건 전부 설명드릴 수 있습니다. 그게 메르소스 감생. 이 파괴적인 연출까지가 이번 코스 요리의 연출이겠지. 자, 말해봐라. 이 음식의 이름은?
오늘의 메인 스매시드 프라이드 봉이입니다.
It's a timeout chair for all of you too. Go sit. The first contestant's food was completely wasted. I had walked out of the kitchen to get some fresh air and cool my head when someone tugged at my pants. I looked down to find... Oh, hi, Yisong.
네, 이상이요. 단테 원장님.
Right, still getting used to everyone calling me by my title.
이상하오?
No, it's okay. What's up?
병아리 반도 떼어막습 준비를 마쳤소. 도와주시겠어요? 단테 원장님?
I can see the other Sinnerlings in the distance, all wearing yellow, cheery chickies backpacks.
딸먹둥이!
원장님, 원장님, 히스클리프 가요, 히스클리프 가요. 야, 휘두르지 마, 육즙 튀어.
엉님, 반장엉님, 이스마일이랑 히스클리프랑 또 싸워.
They are ready, right?
이상은 없소, 단테 원장님.
Ideal, you say? I feel like my head's about to burst into flames. I mean, more than usual, I guess.
말빠! 저 부반장 시켜주나요?
제가 반장이면 더 잘할 수 있어요.
불렀어. 요? 다리 먹기!
I forgot to check the bongies in the previous one. Hopefully I didn't miss anything.
다리 먹기!
자, 재료 내놔.
이상적이구려. 내가 하겠소.
에이,
아, 19회 봉이 경호단이군요.
Just what the hell are these things? Why did they explode into a bunch of what looks like casino chips?
오, 혹시 주워왔을까요?
네, 이만큼 주워왔어요.
Ishmael confidently unloaded a whole bag of casino chips onto the table.
아,
안내 반도 못 주었대요.
면목 없어. 여 선생님.
아무래도 제가 병아리반 반장에 훨씬 잘 어울리는 것 같은데. 맞자. 싱클레야, 빨리 봤다고 해.
그게 스카단!
Out of nowhere, Heathcliff appeared and, after shoving the chips onto the table in his own bag, ran away.
야, 거기 안 사!
And before I could even make an attempt to reconcile them, Ishmael leaped up and chased after Heathcliff, knocking over various knickknacks in the chaos.
여전히 면목이 없어. 유.
Don't be, you're doing your best. Speaking of which, what's the point of collecting all these chips? They're not ingredients, are they?
모르셨군요. 이건 포장을 뜯으면
Miss Yuri flipped the chip one way and the other, and upon finding purchase, pulled the wrapping apart, revealing a small thin coin of chocolate underneath. I knew they would be chocolate, I knew it.
우와, 대박! 엉님, 이거 알았다? 물론이요. 아니, 물론이야.
잘했어요, 병아리반. 식구 봉이들의 식성을 잘 파악하고 있었네요. 그런데 요리할 사람이 둘밖에 남지 않았는데 우리 어린이들 괜찮아요?
여부가 있겠소. 요. 째기는 비장의 레시피가 있으니.
Super top secret recipe?
아우야, 우선 봉이를. 자, 되었소. 요.
This is...
봉이를 잘 나누어 물속에 넣고 당근과 감자, 대파와 마늘을 함께 넣고 마무리로 카지노 칩을 쌓아 올려 만든 봉이 한 마리예요.
I thought I glimpsed the sorrowful indignation of a bongi underneath the vicious, boiling, bubbling surface of melted chocolate. Are you sure this is edible?
이상해요?
At my blunt assessment, Yisong's eyes began to tremble as though he were about to start tearing up. No, I mean...
너무 잘 만들었어요, 이상 어린이.
정말이요?
그럼요. 끈덕지고 농후한 이 국물, 그리고 완벽하게 익은 이 재료들을 보세요. 어린이 친구 둘이서 만들기에는 쉽지 않았을 텐데 참 잘했어요.
이상적이구려.
Miss Yuri quietly walked up to me as I watched the two children cheerfully celebrate their culinary success.
선생님, 아이들이 협력해서 성공했는데 맛이 그렇게 중요하진 않을 거예요. 저는 그저 아이들이 다치지 않고 잘 해냈다는데 기쁠 뿐이랍니다.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that. I've still got a lot to learn.
물론 초콜릿이 잔뜩 스며든 봉이는 당연히 맛있겠지만요.
Oh, okay.
그런 말도 있죠. 초콜릿만 있다면 신발도 맛있게 먹을 수 있다.
I've heard that one, but pretty sure it was something about deep frying. Well, no point in arguing about quotes and attributions I can only remember vaguely. It's a bit too late to question the way things are in this institution. In any case, Miss Yuri will finally get the chance to taste. Just then, the sound of hurried footsteps came rushing in from the distance, with Heathcliff bursting into the cafeteria from the opposite hallway. Trailing behind him was a seething Ishmael, her yells ringing out in anger. Without warning, a slipper shot out of the darkness aimed at Heathcliff, who was still on the run. And the said slipper happened to land right on the cheery chickie's whole bonky stew.
단테 원장님.
Tears welled up in Yi Song's eyes, threatening to spill over.
이건 이상하단소. 이뚜마해. 아무리 그래도 이건 아니야. 엉님이랑 내가 얼마나 열심히 혼내주시오.
I let my gaze wander from one mess to the next. Bits of food were strewn all over the place, with Yi Song on the verge of bursting into tears. Stomping his feet, Sinclair advanced toward an extremely flustered Ishmael, while Heathcliff, smirking and giggling, was peeking in from behind the door. And there, at the end of my line of sight, stood Miss Yuri, who somehow still managed to keep a sweet and pleasant smile, though the ominous vein twitching on her forehead was somewhat worrying. There was only one thing left to be said. "Time out, chair." After some time, "Do you still want to continue the cooking contest? The other classes are practically finished, and I don't mean that in a good way. At this point, honestly, you'd win even if you served raw and seasoned chicken just like that."
그런 말씀을 원장님이 하시는 건 부적절하다고 파우스트는 생각해요. 이런 경우에는 아동들의 핵심 역량 한 명, 아이들이 클 수 있게.
Sorry, but why are you suddenly changing the way you talk?
파우스트가 생각하는 단어가 너무 고차원적이라 다른 사람이랑 대화가 어려워진다는 걸 깨달았거든요.
Well, I like to think I can still get what you're saying, so just be your usual self.
안 돼요. 파우스트는 코끼리 반 반장인걸요. 반장은 반의 모든 애들이 정보의 습득에 방해 요소 없이 경험학습에 기반한 교육을 문제없이
You mean you want to use simpler words so other kids can have an easier time understanding you?
요약하면 맞아요.
Right, glad to know Early Elephant's class captain is so mature and dependable. Faust wasn't one to show her feelings openly, but I could sense a subtle hint of satisfaction on her face, and that was good enough for me.
미안해. 카론, 늦었지.
Hello, Miss Karan. Miss Karan is in charge of 2 classes on top of the children's pickups and drop-offs, so I don't get to see her most days. Are the Terror T-Rexes not joining today's class?
티라노 반, 원의 위탁 수업. 지금도 데려다주고 오는 길.
Always got a lot on your plate, I see. Which Centerlings were in Terror T-Rexes again? I sure hope they don't trip and hurt themselves out there.
걱정 필요 없어, 원장님. 공룡 짱짱세.
Oh, you're right. Dinosaurs are really strong. I was still in the middle of a conversation with Miss Charan when I saw a Centerling slowly making her way back, lazily swinging her elephant-shaped bag.
어이, 반짱. 말, 대, 해. 11구 것들이 정신 놓고 몰려온다. 좋아요.
우와, 진짜 신기하다. 반장, 할머니께서 말씀하신 대로면 뽕이 요원들은 자기들이 지키는 곳에서 한 발자국도 안 움직인댔는데.
원래대로라면 그렇죠. 하지만 파우스트는 전부 알고 있어요. 봉이 요원들이 움직일 유일한 기전을. 기전이 뭐냐, 반짱?
줄임말은 아닌 것 같아, 류슈.
유일한 방법을. 처음부터 알 듯하게 말해, 반짱.
And what's that?
그건 금기. 아니, 나쁜 짓을 해서 약속을 어기면 돼요.
Oh, you mean to break a taboo. But are taboos meant to be broken in the first place?
다 멍이 아니라면. 유슈, 원장님께 반말은 나빠요. 그렇겠죠?
Don't mind me, I'm fine. Pretty sure this is the first time she's referred to me by my actual title. Anyway, so how do you think we should break a taboo?
와요, 원장님.
Baz clenched her sponge sword a little tighter, her gaze pinned to a spot. Naturally, my eyes followed hers. And through the billowing haze of dust rising into the air, oh, I think I get it now. I saw Don Quixote sprinting towards us with her balloon lance held up high, with something that looked like a tattered rag flapping from the tip of the spear.
봉이들의 서식, 아니, 사는 곳에 천막을 찢는 나쁜 일. 돈키호테라면 할 줄 알았어요.
Good grief. I pressed a hand to my forehead as I felt all sense of reason leaving me, but I did nothing to keep the chaos from crashing in.
에요. 듣고 있어요.
듣고 있어요. 제 취향은 아니에요.
무게 중심을 개선해야겠어요. 자. 파우스트의 생각대로 봉이 요원들은 전부 해치웠어요.
So I see.
아, 원장님. 저건 반장이 잘했다고 칭찬해달라는 눈빛 같네요.
Right, excellent job, Faust. You did good.
네, 파우스트는 항상 우수해요.
And the rest of you, too.
감사합니다, 원장님. 오늘 체험학습에서 배운 건 집에 돌아가서 동생한테도 알려줘야겠어요.
요슈, 줄이지 말고요. 합니다.
At least she listens to the class captain. And you too, Donkey. Wait a minute, where is she? Honestly, I cannot tell a difference. This is just normal Dawn. Still unable to keep her excitement in check, Don Quixote was sprinting in circles around the field.
아, 돈키호테. 흙바닥에 바로 앉으면 더러워. 자, 여기 내가 비단 보자기를 펼쳐줄 테니까. 이런, 피도 입가에 이렇게 묻히고.
Don Quixote landed a sudden slap on Hong Li's arm.
어라?
앱은
건드리지 말도록. 오래간만에 만찬이니.
What the heck was that? Could it be that Don Quixote's just pretending to be a child?
저리 두세요, 원장님. 아이들은 원래 뛰놀면서 크는 거니까요.
밥 먹을 땐 걔도 안 건드린다. 라고 라디오에서 그랬어.
There you are, Miss Yuri, Miss Tron. Shouldn't you be at the cafeteria?
여러분들이 너무 늦게 오셔서 제가 직접 나와보았어요. 앞선 두 반은 아쉽게도 음식을 맛보지 못했지만 여러분들의 음식이라도 맛볼 수 있다면 저는 기쁠 거예요. 자, 파우스터리니? 오늘 준비한 요리는 뭘까요?
파우스트? 없어요.
네?
파우스트는 봉이 요원들이 갖고 다니는 방출식 3형 모델 진압봉이 갖고 싶었어요. 전부 분해해서 모으면 새로운 장난감을 만들 수 있거든요. 많이 모았으니 성공이에요.
그게 무슨...
파우스트는 궁금해요. 인간은 필요치의 영역만 제공되면 생명 유지에 문제가 없어요. 유리와 같은 행동을 생산자가 아닌 소비자가 굳이 수행하는 것은 비효율이라고 생각하는데 왜 이런...
선생님이 말이 빨라서 잘 이해가 되지 않는데 쉽게 말해볼까?
아, 네. 요리에 관심이 없어요. 기어코 그 말을 했어.
Miss Tron,
카론 선생님, 저런 말 안 가르쳐. 책임 아니야. 도망. 파우스트는 에너지 젤리가 더 효율적이라고 생각해요.
oh no, the look on Miss Yuri's face is getting darker. What about the others? Ryoshu, Hung Lil?
밥 먹는 시간도 단축하는 게 낫지. 해요.
집에서 해준 음식이 더 좋아요.
Drop it, Don Quixote. You've already exposed yourself.
그래요. 저는 아이들이 식사를 통해 즐겁고 건강하게 자라나길 바랐어요. 눈병이 나서 컨디션도 몹시 안 좋은데 두 반의 담임을 하면서 틈틈이 야근으로 짠 이 체험학습을 그저 아이들만을 위해서. 하지만 결국 이런 취급이군요.
Miss Yuri.
야근하고 싶지 않았어요.
Miss Yuri's body is
그
turning.
누구도 야근을 하고 싶어 하진 않았어요.
Come now, Miss Yuri. Let's not make it sound as if something terrible is going to happen.
그러면 전 도대체 어쩌라는 거예요? 영양사가 된 게 죄예요? 아니, 됐어요. 아무도 음식을 소중히 하지 않는다면
Don Quixote. I said drop the act. Go get the kids sitting in the timeout chairs.
알았다. 너희들 전부 입에 직접 숯을 넣어주겠어!
Hurry up. Oh my god. I am dumbfounded that this is actually happening right now. This entire event has left me basically speechless. I'm just like, wow.
이상적이구려. 야!
다리는 노작가?
뭐, 자,
자, 이리 와.
위장 플러스.
아랫몸은 징그러.
달콤한 검술.
Okay, yeah, this event is amazing, I gotta say. Really blew my expectations out of the water there. Am I in?
이 양반 어째 주기적으로 버스에서 악몽을 꾸고 그러네.
Nightmare, so it was all a dream. Figures. As the buzzing in my head gradually settled, the sound of the bus engine came back into focus. I guess what just happened must have been a dream, nothing more. Thanks, Gregor. You saying it was a nightmare stabbed me out of it.
뭘? 아 참. 그래. 아이 고맙다면 저것 좀 대신 처리해 줄래?
Where Gregor pointed, the sinners were arguing loudly over something.
에휴. 또 회식 장소 가지고 저러고 싸우고 있어. 오랜만에 하는 회식이니까 최대한 맛있어야 한다면서.
Dream or reality, some things never change. It's almost amazing how they keep getting into the same arguments. And I don't even get to eat anything.
관리자 양반이라면 금방 조용하게 만들 현명한 방법 있지?
Wise way? Did I ever have a wise way to quiet them down? Well, to the timeout chair, everyone. Oh, I'm probably still half asleep. Sorry that came out weird. What I meant to say is... I was awkwardly scratching the back of my head when I noticed that somehow the sinners had all gone quiet. Slowly, one by one, they clenched their mouths shut and took their seats as if they were children who were anticipating one heck of a scolding. What's going on, guys?
조용히 하세요. 생각 의자에서 시끄럽게 굴면 티라노반이 오니까요.
There are T-Rexes? Hang on, why do they recognize that name?
무서워. 티라노반은 나쁜 아이들을 한 입에 잡아먹는 데 써.
매번 원회로 나가는 이유가 사실 나쁜 아이들을 벌주기 위해서라는 소문이.
What are they on about? We're on Mephistopheles. There are 2 seats empty.
친구들이 또 떠들고 있지 않습니까?
티라노반 반장 붉은 수감료.
대체 언제쯤에야 제게 어부받을
What on earth are you saying? Stay back.
해주시는 겁니까?
No. Is this my realm? Then was I just now also a dream? So I had 2 dreams in a row. That was such a weird-ass dream. No, it's still too early to let my guard down. I could still be trapped in a dream world. Right, I should try pinching my cheek to make sure. Dang it, forgot I have a clock for a head. Fine then, the thigh, and one on the arm too.
한테 노크 없이 죄송합니다만 급하게 논의하고 싶은 게 갑작스러운 자학 충동이 일어났나요? 이런 건 보고된 적 없습니다만.
No, Faust, wait, hear me out first.
빠르게 진찰이 필요할 수도 있겠군요. 우선
It took a good long while to try and to explain to Faust the ridiculous situation I found myself in, but in the end I managed to clear things up. And thankfully, this part wasn't a dream. Just another anecdote to be told about a certain day on the bus. Man, that entire thing sure was an adventure. Alrighty then, but yeah, that is where I'm going to leave it off for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we... well, I'm not sure. The next Invervalo should be coming up soon, so the next Limbus company shouldn't be too far away. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it off. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!